Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about the next fight on the prelim. Cedric Dumas versus Michal Oleksiejczuk. What up, Poland? I can't say none of your names. Michal here is a minus 190 favorite. Cedric Dumas plus 160 underdog. We'll start with Cedric Dumas. Don't really like this guy individually as a person. I know he struck a woman, and once you start beating women, I can't get down with you. So shout out to him. His nickname is the Reaper. He used to train in Orlando somewhere, lived about 7 hours away from there. I don't know what he was doing. But when you watch this guy fight, he's a baby giraffe. He doesn't know how to wrestle, doesn't know how to grapple, but he's learning. And he has the athletic ability to do anything. He just doesn't know how to. And I want to talk about that for a specific reason. Number one, he looked completely outgunned against Josh Freeman. Just happens. Josh Freeman's a grappler, submitted him, whatever. The next fight against Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage goes across the cage, closes the distance with this guy, gets a takedown as easy as 1, 2, 3. And then Cody Brundage does the most low IQ thing in the world and jumps a guillotine. It's the dumbest thing ever. He ends up on bottom and never gets back up again. Cedric Dumas, at some point in the second round, the same thing happens again. There's like he jumps Gilly twice. Cody Brundage gets exhausted. I think he took the fight on short notice. And Cedric Dumas has 11 minutes control time in that fight. From that point forward, he goes out and beats Abu, gets knocked out by Ruzaboyev, which everybody should get knocked out by that 6'5 monster. And then he beats an old Dennis Tilulian. Dennis isn't very good, but once again, another fight where he was able to control his opponent. And now we start getting to this point where it's like, is Cedric Dumas a wrestler? Because he's not great standing. He's just not. He can't really bang with these guys. And what are we doing? Like, he just has to get lucky and win on this grappling stuff. And then he's fighting Michal. Michal is 30 years old. You'd think he's 40 by the amount of experience he has. He's been fighting in the UFC a long time, since 2017. His first fight ever, Khalil Roundtree. Yeah. And he's still here, bro. He's still breathing. He cannot grapple to save his life. He's the worst on the mat. We're talking about unable to stop submissions all day. Jimmy Crute submitted him. The Australian OSP submitted him. He goes out and finds ways to win. Dustin Jacoby out-grappled him. Dustin Jacoby had a 3 minutes worth of control time to take on. That's a kickboxer, okay? Then he goes and knocks out Cody Brundage. But then you see him losing to these fights. And here's the deal. Borajo, the leader of the Fighting Nerds, you're not going to beat him. He's getting submitted by Michal Pereira, excuse me. He gets submitted by him, I think, in the first, well, it's right there, the first round in a minute. Easiest fight for us to call last year. We laughed at it. I think he did a backflip on top of him. And then Kevin Holland, another guy, couldn't win because Kevin Holland could grapple. Then he goes up against the one-eyed pirate and loses 30-27 on most cards. All right, so let's talk about it. Michal here cannot grapple, but he can strike. And if he's going to strike, he can knock out great fighters like Chidi. Chidi can't grapple. So he couldn't, I guess, what's the word I want to use? He couldn't take advantage of this man's weakness. This man's weakness is grappling. Do you think Cedric Dumas is going to do that? I'm going to tell you, Cedric Dumas has no offensive wrestling. Anytime he's in control or takes control or any of that stuff, it's with a reversal, a sweep, and it's just being athletic or uber athletic. But if we just do a glorified kickboxing match, which is what we're probably going to see here, and they're going to keep their distance and we're not going to get any grappling, bro, this man right here is tough as nails. He's fought 28 times against some of the better fighters in the UFC, and he's only been knocked out once. Here's what I'm going to say about it. And that one knockout is down here in 2014, 11 years ago. And he's been in the cage for minutes upon minutes with other people. Now, I don't know if this fight goes the distance. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if we go over here to the sports book and we go to the UFC and we're looking at the prelims and you pull it up, more wages, does this fight go the distance? I say no, and people kind of understand that. With that being said, who's going to win? Well, it's either Dumas by submission of some sort, which I don't know what he can do. I don't see it because he doesn't have the knowledge on how to really grapple. He's just athletic. Like, I'll see him even sprawl and put nice hip pressure down, and then he'll stop doing that to look at his coach in the corner and be like, what am I doing next? And next thing you know, he doesn't have the sprawl anymore. He's got a single leg sucked up, and he's getting taken down. We call it a hip heist. He'll get his hips heisted from him by the opponent. So method of victory here, everybody believes it's a knockout. I'm not going to try to get razor thin on this. I'm not going to try to get too overly accurate with the method. What I'm going to tell you is if you're watching this fight on a live stream with me and you see Cedric Dumas get a takedown and he wins the round because of it, then he had the game plan in his camp to go out and get takedowns, which is what he should do. He shouldn't try to come out here and strike with a striker. You know, when he knew he was fighting Cody Brundage, they talked about his fight camp being weeks upon weeks of grappling to get ready for a wrestler. And then he was able to go out there and out-wrestle Cody Brundage, kind of, sort of. Obviously, he had 11 minutes control time. He out-wrestled him. No, not necessarily. It's just Cody Brundage has the IQ of a Neanderthal, right? So, for me, if Cedric Dumas knows he's going into this fight against a striker and he just did rounds and rounds of striking, he's an idiot. And he's got the worst coaches ever. He cannot do rounds of striking. He can't win a striking match. What he needs to be doing is practicing takedowns, closing the distance, clinching, and getting after it. So this is a fight where I would recommend live betting and just waiting to see if Cedric Dumas is smart enough to implement his game plan to win. If we don't see a takedown and we don't see control time, he's going to lose miserably. Okay, that's how I feel. I know he's a bigger, more athletic, younger striker, all that stuff. Don't give a shit about that. This Polish dude right here hits like a Mack truck. Now, that being said, there's no lock here. These guys are inconsistent, and I can't believe in them. But understand that Michal has been fighting at the upper echelon of the UFC. You see all these losses, and you're like, Rico, he loses all the time. No. When he fights at the bottom of the UFC, he knocks them dudes out. Cody Brundage, Sam Alvey. He TKOs these guys and puts them to sleep. When he fights at the top, that's when he gets into trouble because they understand they can take advantage of he's a single skill set fighter, which is terrible because it's MMA, mixed martial arts. There's nothing mixed about his martial arts. He's very one-dimensional when it comes to striking. His striking is elite. Everything else leaves a lot to be desired. So this is a man, if you're going to go out there and out-grapple him, let's see it. But if every round starts on your feet and we're striking, this man hits hard. Legendary Polish power. And he's beat a lot of good fighters. Now, fighting at the top versus somebody who's fighting nothing but scrubs is a huge difference in competition, and you don't really know what you're in there against. I don't know if Cedric Dumas has ever been hit like this before. He has. Ruzaboyev knocked him the hell out, okay? Anybody else hitting like this, these guys are nobody. These guys are cab drivers. Like, I don't know none of these dudes. Dennis, obviously, I mean, I know the UFC guys. I'm just saying, in general, Cedric Dumas has not fought anybody on this caliber or at this echelon consistently. It's just not there. So I'm going to take Michal, but it's not a lock. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows.